back to Manchester. It is EFL Cup quarter-final time. We're at Hillsborough, and let's catch you up with what we've done since you last saw us. It was the Young Boys game that you last saw. Beat Ipswich easily 4-0, as we should do. Then got spanked by Brighton. Honestly, the XG in this game, I think if we look at it, it was not a 4-1 game. It was clearly not a 4-1 game. We should have drawn it. Everything they did came off. So, one of those things. We got back on track by pounding Southampton 5-0. And I tried a change of tactic for that one. Whether it was the tactic, whether it was Southampton, who knows. I think we can probably guess. Then we played Brighton again in the Champions League, and it wasn't a great performance. Again, draw, probably a fair result, and that was this time the result we got. Disappointing to throw away the lead though. This one, honestly, the performance didn't look that great for most of it. But we came out with a 3-0 win away to what was, I'm sure, when I looked at the start of the season, Newcastle were like top of the list. They were favourites to win the league. I don't know what's happened to them. They were 10th when we played them, and they might even be lower now. Talking of the league, we are currently top. Tottenham and Crystal Palace literally just played each other and drew 2-2. We have West Ham in our next league game at home, so it would be nice to sort of beat them and get several points ahead of them. A 7-point gap on them would be good. But today is about the League Cup. I have been tinkering with the tactic again, and we're going double DM. Basically, what I was running into was a problem of, as we've established, I didn't want two playmakers on the pitch. But if I wanted two central midfielders on the pitch, one of our best options, in fact, most of our best options, were to play one of them as some form of playmaker, whilst defensive midfield-wise, deep line playmaker is very clearly where we're strongest. So, I decided, okay, we'll have the deep line playmaker, we'll have a defensive midfielder alongside him, which hopefully obviously also will give us that bit more sort of defensive solidity against better sides. It gets Castellanos on the pitch, and he is good enough to be out there on a regular basis. He's playing today. The problem we do have now is that I don't really have an awful lot of players in the defensive midfield roles. So we might need to try and invest. It's making me look at selling Cliver Dominguez, possibly. Because... excuse me, why are you that? You should never have been that. Behave. Paternsa Kasongo is definitely the best false 9. We're going with a false 9 up front because I want him sort of dropping deep and then the inside forwards, coming in. I tried inverted wingers. They never seemed to play well. I didn't try them for that long, but some of the performances were really bad. It was like Buonanni and Nusa putting in 6.4s, 6.5s. They just don't do that on a regular basis, and they were doing it constantly. Wasn't happy with that. Okay, weak foot. Yeah, you've done everything we need to do there. Spike Brits is getting a run out today. Teko, who you've not really seen before, finally decided to use him as a wing back. He's got a couple of options. He could play defensive midfield. So, theoretically, what I could do when Rico Lewis returns, that does give us a bit more option because we've then got Teko who could move into defensive midfield if we wanted him to. But I think he's slightly better as a fullback, and that's what we're training him as at the moment. Well, a wing back, technically. Anyway, Jean-Christophe Lecam is back in the lineup for the first time. He came back in time for the Newcastle game, but I didn't even put him on the bench. So hopefully this will be the sort of run out that he can ease himself back in and not get immediately injured again. I know you're listening, don't even think about it. Um, right. Okay. Put on a worthy display. Um, so yeah, it is far from a full strength lineup, but it should be able to cope with Sheffield Wednesday. These are still players who I would expect to be able to put in a good shift in the Premier League, and Wednesday are not a Premier League side. So we'll see how the new tactic works, how the new shape goes. Pedro and Rodriguez have got probably a lot more of the onus of scoring the goals on them, and Lecam actually, who's expected to sort of burst through from central midfield. Although, false nine Patern Kasongo, not going to count. Why? What do you mean that's not going to count? Oh, I see. Oh, it's one of those, is it? Excuse me. We're just going to have a bit of a pause here. I hate those ones where you just disallow it. I don't know why you've disallowed it, and you don't show me a replay. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go back and, okay, so what's wrong with this? I just need to know. Okay. So I'm presuming it's Pedro who was offside. Right, fine. Okay. Maybe game, tell me that. That's all I'm asking. Right, let's go back live. Don't just leave me wondering why someone who was very clearly onside when he got the ball and scored gets his goal disallowed. Tell me it's because someone else was. Frustrating. Just in case you didn't pick up my vibes. Probably have left that to go out, couldn't you, mate? That would have been a corner, wouldn't it? Can we get the ball away, boys? There we go. Right, I'm gonna demand more because you seem to have let them into the game. They've actually had more shots than us. Got more XG than us. Even though we don't seem to be playing badly, so hopefully it's just a matter of we'll get there in the end. Although we don't seem to be shooting, boys. Are we not getting in a position to shoot, or are you just a little bit shy? Can we please behave in there? Kasongo gets it out to Rodriguez. This attack is still going. Kasongo. Oh, he's somehow got that back. Nodded away. Man City corner. Right. Esquivel, I think he's pretty good in the air, so, he might be a target here. Roston. Oh, well. Okay. Really? How did he manage to stray offside in that situation? Can't have been easy, but he did it. Right, Lecam is struggling, but, it's his first game back. We might only give him the 45 minutes, and then we'll stick, possibly, I presume Darvic is on the bench. I know Dale Lamb is certainly on the bench, actually, so he can come in. Right, well, we are controlling the game, but we are not winning the game, boys. Don't like that. Okay, starting to get up there a little bit. Okay, I'm going to demand more for the last few minutes of the half. I can't really complain overly about the performance. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad. I mean, they seem to be playing okay. What's that blue bar doing up there? Should be no blue on that thing at all. Right, I'm not particularly happy. Right, I'm far from pleased. Get out there. Play to your abilities. If you'd be so kind. Oh, referee! brought him down, felled him like a tree. An outrage. Right, oh, this has been a really... I'm very sorry. I thought this would be a more exciting game than this, I'll be honest. I thought, you know, us against lower division opposition should be plenty of chances. No, we're seeing nothing. Oh, good. I'm glad he's injured again. I'm really happy that he's come back and he's immediately injured. Thank you, Sheffield Wednesday. Because he took a knock, which means you did something to him. Thank you very much. If he's out for about another 3 months, I am going to tear the city of Sheffield a new one. And Sheffield United will suffer as well, because I don't like them anyway. You know, there's Lacam who's coming off because he's virtually dead again, isn't he? Honestly. Try and do all these things to fit the likes of Lacam into this system, because I want to get him on the pitch as well as the likes of Casas, who admittedly isn't playing today. But then, you know, I thought we might be able to get along without him, but apparently not. But it doesn't really matter if I try and fit Lacam into the system if he's never actually alive. Right, come on. We've worked the ball well. Nicely done. Kasongo, where are you going? Where are you going? You don't know, do you? Okay. I'm not entirely sure you should be the one ending up shooting, Teko, if I'm honest. Right, no, we've got no changes to make there. Right, demand more. I mean, yes, we've utterly dominated the second half. However, right, this is going to go straight to penalties, by the way, boys. There's no, oh, we've got 30 minutes more to do something. This goes straight to penalties, and I do not trust you lot from the penalty spot. Just so you know. Right, Aguiar, who plays as an advanced forward when he comes on, because we promised him he could when we signed him. Right, Casas, Al Janafi's a bit tired as well, so you can come on there. Right, okay, we're trying to bring out some of the big guns now, boys, so let's play like your big guns, shall we? Right, Aguiar. They've made substitutions. Lamb, Aguiar, Esquivel. Okay, again, why are my defenders the ones actually shooting? Do we not have a forward who knows what the goal is actually used for? It's not much point doing all this and dominating them completely if you're just not... Oh, for God's sake, what are you going to do now? What are you about to do now? Go on, counter-attack. Go on, Lamb. Finish. Well done, Dale Lamb. Right, I'm going to cancel that instruction. It comes to something when we have to do it on a counter-attack though, boys. Can we not break this lot down? I mean, can we actually not? Relying on counter-attacks from a corner when they're wide open for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why Sheffield Wednesday were committing so many people forward there. Teko, obs it in. Buonani, you haven't done anything, but then you've only just come on. Castellanos, Casas... Rodriguez out to Clifton. Loses it. They win it back. Aguiar. I mean, they should probably have done better with this, I'll be honest. Having won it there, I don't know where he was twiddling around to, but I'll thank him later. Buy him a pint in the bar. Okay, Lamb. I'm not entirely sure why he was in that position. Central midfielder on attack and all that. Not a good pass, Dale. Not a good pass. Oh, hello. You've been absolutely mugged. Balance problem there, Spike. Well, I mean, you've watched the game. The scoreline looks a lot more comfortable than it's been, doesn't it? And if we add a third for the extra gloss, then I think Sheffield Wednesday could really probably demand their money back. Still, I've got to remember, it's a new shape, it's a new system, we're getting used to it. I've got to give it time to bed in a little bit. I would have hoped that this was the sort of game you could really get to grips with it in, though, boys. If I'm honest. Casas. No. Clifton. Oh, shots on target, boys. Shots on target. Clifton's looking a bit dead out there. But, you know, it's 20 seconds to go, so I think you can probably manage the last 20 seconds, son. Okay, yeah, there we go. Up the wing, up the wing. Buonani, you've not really done an awful lot since you came on, but, well, we're through to the semis. That's about the best you can say from that. It gives the impression that we were much the better side, that there's a lot of green over here, there's no green over here, but it's a bit of a struggle, wasn't it? Right, well, let's get back to the schedule and see what we're up for. Actually, I think the draw actually is in a couple of days' time, so we'll come back for that, and then we'll see where that slots into the fixture list. See you in a minute. Okay then, it is the semi-final draw. Chelsea and Brighton both made it through as expected from their ties. Norwich knocked out Sunderland. We will be hoping, no offence Norwich, for Norwich. Although there's no real pressure on because we've done enough to please the board in this one. We only need to be competitive. And we got Chelsea. Of course we got Chelsea. Why wouldn't we get Chelsea? Right, so Brighton versus Norwich in the other semi-final. So it's probably Brighton in the final. Again, no offence, Norwich. But, you know, they were league champions like 2 years ago, Brighton, so they should be quite good. Right, our game against Liverpool has been rearranged. Let's see what that has done to the schedule. Okay, oh my word. Oh, of course, yeah, it's 2 legs. Oh, it's 2 legs. Oh! Oh my lord, look at January now. Look at the state of that. What have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just the 10 matches in January then. Excellent. On the back of 9 in December. Ah, the English football fixture list. Absurd. Absolutely absurd. We've got the busy Christmas period just about to come up. I mean, what I will try and do is probably get to the second leg of that League Cup semi-final with Chelsea, because I mean, if it's still in the balance, it'll be a fun one. If it's not still in the balance, i.e., if either team has thrashed the other, then you won't see that, and we'll see something else around this point. I mean, we've got Tottenham, who are our main title rivals, and a derby either side of that, so that's going to be a nightmare of a few games. Anyway, that's what I'm in this business for. Nightmares. Right, well, hopefully we'll see you in mid-January. I'm not sure if there'll be much in the way of transfer activity. It does depend on whether I do decide to sell Clifford Dominguez, because that's the only way we're going to get any funds. And we're not even, actually, I've just had a thought. It's almost not worth it, because we'll probably get at best about 60 million for him, and I only get to keep 25% of my transfer revenue because we are in so much debt. Hello, £258 million overdraft. So yeah, as you can see here, 25% of transfer revenue is made available. So even if I sell him for 60 million, we're going to get 15. And the odds of finding someone who's going to improve that defensive midfield section with 15 million quid, not great. I'll be honest, not great. So yeah, we might be very, very quiet on the transfer front in January. Anyway, right, well, thank you very much for joining me. I'm sorry it wasn't a scintillating affair, but, you know, we won. We never pressed all that much, I suppose. A couple of goal-mouth scrambles, but yeah, and we will come back for some form of big game against either Chelsea, Tottenham or Manchester United, probably. And almost certainly at home, because it's not going to be the first leg of that, and the other two league games either side of the second leg are at home. So, I'll stop waffling. Thank you very much for joining me. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.